you think you want the money, the cars, the house, the jewelry, the woman, the experiences. You think you want all of the material success, but what you really want are the underlying feelings that you value that underlie all of the material success. In this video, we are going to cover the foundational programs, the foundational subconscious programs that make up your identity and that are literally running your life. In this video, we're going to cover your values and your beliefs. Okay, so most people, again, like I said, most people are chasing after money, jewelry, watches, jewelry, cars, houses, women, so on and so forth, because they think that when I get that stuff, when I get the money, when I get the house, the cars, the woman, so on and so forth, then I will finally be free. I will finally feel good enough. I will finally feel worthy of the love that I never received. What I'm here to tell you is that that's backwards. What you want to do is you want to discover one, what do you value right now? Where did you learn those values and those beliefs? Because your values and your beliefs, they're not yours. You didn't come up with them. They were taught to you. They were installed in your subconscious mind when you were an infant, when you were a child, when you were a toddler, an adolescent, and a teenager. And in the age of reason, about the age of 8 to 12 years old, when your conscious reasoning mind starts coming online and you start questioning reality, you start talking back, you start formulating your own ideas. By that time, 80% of your programming has already taken place. You're already pretty much programmed. So if you grew up in, let's say, the Middle East, you were probably programmed with certain religious beliefs. You were programmed with certain linguistic beliefs. So you speak a certain language, you believe a certain thing about reality, you have a certain belief about, let's say, a higher power, versus someone that, let's say, they were brought up in the Midwest of America. They were probably brought up in a Christian conservative home. So those are the values that were installed into them. Okay, I'm not saying either one is right or wrong or better than the other. I'm not religious at all. So for me, it's like saying, hey, when you take on the identity of one thing that separates you from everything else, then it actually limits you. It puts you in a box. And so again, what I'm in this video, what I'm going to do is actually share with you and hopefully give help you to analyze again, where did you pick up your beliefs? What do you truly value at a deep level? Analyze those, categorize those, and then actually look at your life and say, okay, are my values and beliefs actually getting me to where I want to go? Or do I have some conflicting values? Do I have some conflicting beliefs that are actually holding me back from getting me to where I want to go? Okay, because most people, 99% of people out there are never going to analyze their life. It's called metacognition. Most people are never going to analyze their thoughts, their values, their beliefs, their character traits, which are the foundation of your identity. It's what actually dictates, it's the cause of all of your behavior. And most people are never going to look at those aspects of their life. And so they're going to go through life chasing their tail because they want money, because you have to have money. Even water costs money in the current world that we live in. So you have to have money. But if you grew up in a household that taught you that only crooks and bad people have money, that money's the root of all evil, that then you have a negative association. So you believe something that's not necessarily true. Or let's say, you don't, money is very low, you don't value it very much compared to, let's say, comfort or pleasure. And so you will, when your friends call you up to go out for a good time, you're going to choose that over being disciplined, being structured, staying home, working on a business, taking new different actions, creating a new person. Because here's the thing, before we hop into this, is that in order for you to go from where you are right now to where you want to go, what is required of you is becoming a completely different person. And most people will not even take the first step. Let's say if you want to go from right now having $1,000 in the bank, maybe you average $10,000 in the bank. Okay, that's the most you've ever had. Then something happens, you got to spend some money, then you'll build it back up to 10,000 bucks. Maybe it's $100,000. I don't know. We all have that thermometer. Everything in your finances, in your health, your physical body, your relationships, everything. We have a thermometer. That thermometer is what we've been programmed to believe we're worthy of, how much we value it, so on and so forth. So if you want to go from averaging 10,000, 100,000, whatever it is, to millions, which is a quantum leap, what is required of you is becoming an entirely different person. And that journey is the hero's journey. And most people will never take it because it's going to require them doing things that are extremely out of their comfort zone. And the first thing is, again, metacognition, looking into your own mind and deconstructing your mind, starting with your values and your beliefs. So your values are not your values. They are the values of the identity that was installed before you could choose. Everything changes when you choose them yourself. You have spent your entire life believing you are making choices, decisions. You are not. Something beneath your decisions is making them for you. Something that was installed before you could read, before you could reason, before you had any say in the matter. It has been running your life ever since, silently, automatically, and without your permission. That something is your value hierarchy, and directly above it, filtering every experience through a lens you didn't choose, is your belief system. Together, these two systems determine who you pursue and who you settle for in your relationships, what money you make and what ceiling you can't seem to break through, how you respond to pressure, whether you lead or defer, whether you feel like the man you know you're capable of being, or whether you watch that man from a distance and wonder what went wrong. You don't have a discipline problem. You don't have a motivation problem. You have an architecture problem. And this lesson maps that architecture. While most personal development work operates at the behavioral level, setting goals, what do you want, taking more action, creating plans, creating strategies, that's conscious level, willpower, behavior, trying to change what you do while leaving your values and beliefs underneath completely intact. This is why it reverts. The thermostat corrects. The deeper architecture wins. We've got it every cycle. The beginning of every January, everybody's making New Year's resolutions. This is my year, new me. They start taking more action. They start trying to use their willpower to get themselves to change behaviorally, permanently. It's never going to work. because the identity is always going to come to the surface and say, nah, man, you're fat. You've always been fat. You're the chubby kid. Nah, man, no way. Look at Gordo. That's not you. Your whole family's fat chunkies. That you can't do it, man. Go back to eating and what makes you feel comfortable. Oh, you're gonna make a bunch of money? Nah, dude, that's too much. You're not good for that. What about what are people gonna say? What are your family gonna say? Oh, you're too good for us now. Trying to change what you do while leaving the values and beliefs underneath completely intact. This is why it reverts. The thermostat corrects, the deeper architecture wins. Tonight, we go to the root. We map your current values, identify the beliefs that they have generated, and lay out the exact pathway for replacing both at the level where they actually live. Understand what is actually running you, and you can choose what you run next. These are just programs. Look at them. Look at your mind like a computer. The conscious mind is what you allow, like let's say the floppy disk or the CD-ROM or whatever it is. Nowadays, you just download a file, and the subconscious, once that file is downloaded, it's going to produce behavior. But you have to install that new identity first. You have to see yourself different. You have to change what you value. If you're overweight, you value food and the comfort. You actually value comfort and pleasure more than you value your health, because the food makes you feel comfortable, pleasured, connection with yourself, makes you feel loved, makes you feel certain feelings. Part one, the architecture. Before mapping the individual values and beliefs, you need to see the system they live inside. Most men who try to change themselves are working on the wrong layer. Understanding the architecture is what makes everything else in this lesson actionable. Let's take a look at them. Okay, so right here, beliefs, okay, what you think is true about yourself, others, and what is possible. Trust, agency, worth, capability, deservingness, safety with others. These determine how you pursue what you want or whether you pursue it at all. Installed before the age of 7, runs 95% of behavioral. Excuse me for it being so dark. Then right above that, you have the values. What you move toward and what you protect. The unconscious priority system. Safety, belonging, worth, freedom, certainty, love, meaning, growth. These determine what you want. They feel like desire, like preference, like need. I need to have more money. Well, you really want the money because you want to feel free. Or you think that money or accomplishment, because perhaps you only got attention, you only got love, you only got praise when you achieved something. And so as a man, the greatest achievement is being financially successful. So still you're running a program that was installed when you were a little boy. Man, if I go out and create massive financial success, maybe I will finally feel the love and the attention and the validation and the praise that I never got as a child. So you value it so much. And then behavior, what people see, what you do, say, and produce. You produce results in your relationships, in your income, your consistency, and your presence. Layer 1, behavior, what everyone sees. Behavior is the output layer. It is what is visible. Your discipline, your consistency, your results, how you show up in a room. This is the layer most change attempts target. It is also how the most resistant, it is also the most resistant to permanent change when approached daily, directly, because behavior is not the cause, it is the effect. Okay, cause and effect. Your behavior is the effect, the cause is the programming. Okay, layer two, the beliefs, the filter. Beliefs sit beneath behavior. Actually, have that backwards. They are the conclusions your mind drew about yourself, other people, and the world. Usually in childhood, almost always under emotional charge, and always filed in the subconscious as a fact. Every experience you have is processed through this filter before it reaches your conscious awareness. You are never perceiving reality directly. You are perceiving it through your belief system. What you believe about someone, what you believe about a group of people, a race of people, what you believe about money, what you believe about certain genders, gender roles nowadays. And then you have layer three, values. This is the root of it all. Values are the deepest layer. They are what you believe matters most. The hierarchy of what your nervous system is organized to pursue and protect. This layer was installed earliest, carries the most emotional weight, and is the most invisible. A man does not think I value safety over growth. He just finds himself not making the move. Think about that. Let that sink in. A man does not think I value safety over growth. I value safety over love. I value safety over family. He just finds himself not making the move. The value system executes without announcement. So let's think about this at a cellular level. Excuse me. Your cells have two primary operating functions. Number one, survive, don't die. Period. So your mind, your brain is constantly evaluating your surroundings. Some people not very aware, some people hyper aware of their surroundings. Okay? What that is your subconscious mind, your cellular mind, okay, which is probably your mammalian mind or your reptilian mind that's scanning your realities for threats. Am I going to die in this environment? Okay? Well, guess what? Man, I really want now, excuse me, before I get ahead of myself. The second program at a cellular level is replicate. We got to keep this species going so we can get as far as we can get. That's why we have kids, so we can pass all of our wisdom, all of our knowledge, all of our tactics. Say, okay, I'm going to pass the torch on to you. You get us further in this game. So we all have that. Now, this is how powerful the mind is that, man, there are people out there that they know how to get in deep into your values. So let's say for women, women now value material success, financial success over replicating, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. So we've actually learned how to bypass biology, but biology is smarter because what it's doing is then it creates emotions of, lack, loss, inferiority. A woman who's 40 years old, who doesn't have children, at a deep level, I would bet money the vast majority of them, let's use Pareto's principle, 80% of women, let's say, let's take 100 women, okay? 80 of those women are if, that don't have they're 40 years old or older, they don't have children, but let's say they make really good money, they live in a really nice house, they drive a Porsche, they do all that shit, Porsche, Pilates, and freaking whatever it is, okay? But guess what? They're waking up in an empty house. They have no one to they're no one to raise and to love and to you don't know love. True, the depths of love. You don't know the true depths of love until you have a child. And so culture has actually bypassed biology to make women value material success, safety, security, vanity over replication, over having a baby. Okay. Anyways, I digress. Okay. Change behavior without changing beliefs. It reverts all the time. I mean, studies show, look at, again, New Year's resolutions. How many times in your mind have you said, oh my gosh, I'm going to make this big purchase. I'm going to max out my credit card. And as soon as I do, I'm never going to do it again. I'm going to change my behavior. I'm going to change my ways. Oh, I'm just going to go out with my buddies one more time. I'm going to get freaking wasted just one more time. I'm just going to go to the strip club one more time. Okay. I'm just going to eat this chocolate cake one more time. And then I'm going to start on Monday. That's not how it works. It's always going to revert. You have to change beliefs without change beliefs without changing values. The beliefs reinstall. Change the values, the entire architecture reorganizes around the root, the new root. Again, I didn't say what I said about women to bash women. I said it because of what it says right here and what this whole lesson video is all about. You've got to say, oh my God, I was bamboozled. And women are waking up and saying, oh, fuck, I was bamboozled. Feminism taught me to value material success, promiscuity, so going out sleeping around. So now you can't pair bond. Material success, promiscuity, being a boss bitch, being, dominant, which is being masculine, all those things, you value those things. By their fruits you shall know them. Because you ain't got what really matters. You don't have a family. You don't have any children to love and to adore and to raise. You don't have those things. So now they're looking and saying, ah, shit, the road that I traveled didn't work. Same thing goes for men. Look how many weak ass men are out there because men have been taught to be weak. We don't have rites of passage anymore where, the elders are taking our, men on camping trips and making them eat mushrooms and going and being alone, and tripping balls and shit like that and facing death and being men, being strong, learning how to be confident, learning how to be leaders, learning how to be certain of oneself. So it goes both ways. Okay, part 2. The core beliefs, the 10 core beliefs. Okay, 10 core values, excuse me. What is actually driving most of the decisions men make? Not just men. My content's made mostly for men. So obviously I'm speaking to men. The following 10 values account for the vast majority of human decision making. I would say all of decision making. Read each one carefully. You are not just learning the list, you are identifying your own current hierarchy. The value at the top of your personal hierarchy is the one that wins every time it competes with anything below it. So, again, I would highly suggest that you have a notebook or join my school community so you can actually get this printout. It's free. Check the description. Okay. Number 1, safety and security. Number 2, belonging and connection. Number 3, worth and validation. Number 4, freedom. Number five, happiness and pleasure. Number six, certainty and control. Number seven, love and deep bond. Eight, purpose and meaning. Nine, growth and mastery. 10, hope and optimism. Now, none of these are better than another. Okay. Again, all that matters is what you value, and is what you valuing causing you to be happy and to feel good most of the time. Because again, if you value money at the very top over family, over connection, over relationships, over growth and contribution, then chances are you're not going to really be that fulfilled and that feel that good most of the time. Whereas if you, let's say, okay, I'll give you mine exactly. Okay, number one is freedom. I value freedom. Number one, very closely trailing by love, love and connection. Love, connection, and I would say falls in the same category as my family. I value those the most. Then right under that is growth, growth and contribution. Okay, so those are my top three. Those run my life. I homeschool my son. He's my best friend in the world. I have incredible relationships. Um, that with people I could call in a heartbeat. I know they love me. I know that they know that I love them. I show them I love them. I speak their love languages. I learn their love languages. Okay. I'm constantly improving myself. I can't not be in constant fucking metacognition. In fact, I just watched a video. First time in my whole life, I finally felt seen. Finally felt seen and understood by a YouTube video. Fuck, it was so good. Okay, let's blast through these. So, number one, safety and security. What it really means. I need to know I will survive financially, emotionally, physically, and socially. Stable income and predictable routines, health assurance and physical safety, avoidance of risk and uncertainty, safe, predictable relationships. This is the dominant value for the majority of adults and silently governs most decisions. A man running safety as his primary value will sabotage growth, freedom, and purpose every time the thing feels uncertain, even when he consciously wants it badly. Now, for me, safety and security, very low on my list. Very low. I love risk. I need to feel something. That's why, I've been in crypto for 10 years. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. Um, so safety and security, very low on my list. Very, very low. Okay, number two, belonging and connection. What it really means, I want to feel included, accepted, and not alone. Reflected in romantic relationships and family bonds, friend groups and social circles, community, tribe, and identity groups, people pleasing behavior to maintain belonging. When belonging is primary, a man will sacrifice logic, self respect, and his own direction to maintain the sense of being accepted. He will shrink, defer, and tolerate conditions that contradict his identity to avoid the feeling of rejection or isolation. This right here is what holds most men back from tapping into their greatness, is what other people are going to think and say about them. Okay. So if if you've got the same friends you've had since junior high or high school, you go out and have drinks with them every week. Again, it really comes down to you are the sum total of the five people you hang out with. If you go and you want to really 10x your life, the chances are that friend group, they're going to try to drag you back down. Oh, look at the big shot. Look who wants to go get rich now. Oh, you're not going to have time for you. Oh, you're not drinking anymore. Oh, what, you're too good for us now. Same thing goes for the family. Family says the same thing. Or what happens when you get into a relationship with a woman who just wants safety and security? She just you stop going after your goals and dreams. You stop going to the gym. You stop working on your business, and then you settle for safety and security. Okay, worth and validation. What it really means: I need to know I matter, that I am enough. Likes, social media likes, status symbols, and public recognition. Achievement, used primarily to earn approval. Comparison with others as primary self measurement. External validation as the source of one's internal state. Worth as a primary value generates chronic anxiety because the evidence needed to feel enough is always outside your control. The man running on worth is on a treadmill. He achieves, it feels good briefly, then feeling empty, then the feeling empties, and the next achievement is required. So you're just on a roller coaster. Again, this one stems back to childhood. Okay. They did a study that showed that the highest achieving men had daddy issues. They either had a completely absent father or they had a father who was also a high achieving man and who was either worked all the time, so he was an absent father, or he only gave love, attention, adoration, praise, validation when the son accomplished something. So that teaches the son, that teaches the young boy, I only get love when I achieve. My worth is predicated on success, on achievement. So what do? You go out and you achieve success, you get a new car, you make a bunch of money, you get a new house, you get all this stuff. It feels good for a while. People are, oh, great job, that's a cool car, that whatever. And then boom, after a while, it's just a car, man. Just a car, just a watch, just a house, just who gives a shit? It's your thing. Nobody cares about you. You're still trying to get the love and the validation and the attention that daddy didn't give you. What you have to do is you got to forgive your dad truly and honestly. You can't just say, oh, resentfully saying, oh, I forgive him. I've let it go. I've moved on. That's not moving on. That's just stuffing it down. That's just putting that skeleton in the closet. That's all it's doing. And you have to become your own sense of, that's why it's called self-worth. My self-worth is not predicated on any outside force. That's why I'm not really going out and buying stuff and then showing it off. I really couldn't care less. I wish I didn't even have to be on social media, to be honest with you. For freedom, what it really means, I need to escape pain, pressure, control, and obligation. That's how I feel. Let's see what it says. Escape fantasies, travel, quitting, starting over, avoidance of commitment and long-term responsibility, dopamine-driven behavior, seeking relief. Oh, man, this is... Listen, I'm doing the work too. Resistance to structure, even when structure would serve. Freedom as a primary value can drive extraordinary action, or it can drive a man away from everything that would require him to stay. The distinction is whether the freedom is towards something or away from something. Most men running freedom are running away from something. What are you running away from? That's a big question. Because this is my top priority. This is my top value, excuse me. So this really hits. Am I running away from something or am I running toward something? Happiness and pleasure. Number 5, what it really means, I want to feel good now because I don't. Relief, stimulation, and comfort. Short-term decision making over long-term outcome. Dopamine-driven behavioral patterns, massive comfort-seeking industry consumption, difficulty with delay of gratification. When happiness is primary, the nervous system is organized around immediate positive sensation. This value is not wrong. It becomes limiting when it consistently overrides the values that would produce deeper, more durable states. So, again, something like discipline. So, let's say working out, reading, studying, building a business. Okay. These things that they don't produce short term pleasure, they create long term sustainability, long term fulfillment, being proud of oneself, looking what I've accomplished, look what I've created, versus when you're going out and you're seeking pleasure, it's very short lived. Some pleasure is so short, it's 15 minutes. Cocaine's 15 minutes long, and then you're chasing it. And then the byproduct of it is you feel like absolute garbage afterwards. It's most pleasure. The more pleasurable it is, the harder the fall. Number 6, certainty and control. It's another one that I value highly. What it really means. I need things to be predictable. Uncertainty is a threat. Perfectionism and over preparation, difficulty delegating or releasing control, that hit. Systems, planning, and readiness, focus, that hit. Paralysis, when variables cannot be controlled. The man running certainty as primary is, in a sense, trying to eliminate risk through perfect preparation. He is high functioning and often impressive. He is also rarely at peace because certainty cannot be permanently achieved, only temporarily manufactured. 7, love and deep bond. What it really means. I want to be fully chosen, not just accepted, but wanted. Deep attachment and family loyalty, desire for intimate, lasting connection, willingness to be vulnerable for real closeness, fear of abandonment as a primary fear. Love as a primary value produces extraordinary depth of commitment. It also produces extraordinary pain when the attachment is threatened. The man running love is often the most loyal person in any room and the most devastated when that loyalty is not returned. Now, again, I feel like most of these are really focusing on the negative aspect. And remember, the law of polarity. You know, if there's negative aspects or qualities, there are positive aspects or qualities. Okay. This is an external value. When you value and you've developed a deep self-love and you love yourself, so your cup overfilleth and pours over with love unto others, then you don't feel abandoned because there's always going to be someone or something to love, especially yourself. People are going to come and go. People are going to let you down. People are going to break your heart. But if you have a high level of self-love, then it's infinite. Your cup overfloweth. Okay. Number 8, purpose and meaning. What it really means. I want my existence to matter beyond just surviving. Meaningful work over high paying but hollow work. Spiritual curiosity and philosophical seeking. Helper and service roles. Legacy thinking and long horizon planning. Purpose as a primary value is aspirational rather than fully embodied in most men who carry it. The man who values purpose often has not yet taken the risk required to live it. This value requires less effort to hold consciously and more courage to act on. That's a deep one. Growth and mastery, my third value. What it really means, I want to become more competent, capable, and excellent. Continuous learning and skill development, high standards and commitment to craft, whatever that craft may be, long horizon identity investment, competence as the primary source of confidence. Growth as a primary value is one of the most powerful drivers available. The man running growth is not satisfied with comfort. He requires the feeling of becoming better than you were yesterday. When combined with a strong identity foundation, this value produces extraordinary output over time. Because again, you're not focused on the results, you're focused on how am I growing? How am I getting better? In every area of my life. I break life down into 5 core areas: health, wealth, relationships, spirituality or spiritual power, purpose, passion, fulfillment. So, how am I getting better? Because all of those are quantifiable. Every Monday, I go down and get an in body scan. I scan my body fat, my muscle, my hydration every Monday. So, boom, there I go. I get a balance sheet every single Monday. I track how many push ups, how many squats, how many pull ups I'm doing. I have a goal, my finances. I obsessively keep track of all of my money. What are all my businesses? What are they doing? What are they producing? Period. What are my relationships? Do I have any resentment, any discord in my relationships? Period. Are these the 5 people? So again, it's all growth and mastery. Everything contributes. Okay, and then 10, and hope and optimism. What it really means, I need to believe things can and are getting better. Attachment to new beginnings, leaders, partners, programs, quickly fulfilled by the idea of change without the substance, tendency toward external saviors and authority figures, willingness to generate new starts repeatedly. Hope can be a genuine driver of action, or it can be a substitute for action. The man running hope as primary often cycles through new frameworks, new coaches, and new commitments without the sustained implementation that would produce the result the hope is pointing toward. So, those are the top 10 values that are driving your desires. Now, moving on to beliefs, part 3, the filter system. If values are the root, the foundation, beliefs are the branches. They are the specific conclusions the mind draws from experience, usually in childhood, always under emotional charge and always filed as truth rather than interpretation. A belief is not a conscious opinion, it is a subconscious fact. The man who consciously believes he deserves success while subconsciously believing he does not, the subconscious belief always wins every time. It was installed deeper under more emotional charge and has been running longer. By their fruits you shall know them. Just look at the results a man is producing in his life, and that will tell you exactly what is going on at the subconscious level. So now let's take a look at how it was installed. Okay. Number 1, the event. Something happened. Let's say you're 5 years old. Your father doesn't show up. You ask for help and he gets mad at you. Something happened. The interpretation. Your mind draws a conclusion to make sense of the event. Adults can't be trusted. I am not worth showing up for. I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy of support. I'm not worthy of affection, praise, validation. The belief locks in. The interpretation plus the emotional charge enters the subconscious in theta. It becomes filed as a fact. This is how the world works. I can't trust people. I can't trust men because my dad's a man. I can't trust that he's going to validate me, to love me, to praise me. The output. Every future experience is filtered through this event. Evidence that confirms it, stored. Evidence that contradicts it, ignored. Especially if it happens over and over and over again. If it is a pattern that runs over and over and over again, it gets filed as the truth. Okay, the installation mechanism. Beliefs are not formed through reasoning. They are formed through emotional experience while in the theta state. Excuse me. The brainwave state that dominates childhood and that returns naturally in the moments before sleep and after waking. In theta, the filter between conscious and subconscious dissolves. Whatever enters with emotional charge is filed as true. A 7-year-old watching his father fail is not learning something he will consciously remember and disagree with. He is being programmed at the identity level. The conclusion his mind draws, men like us don't win, or I have to work twice as hard just to stay even, enters the subconscious as instruction, not as opinion. That instruction then filters every subsequent experience. Evidence that confirms the belief is stored. Evidence that contradicts it is minimized, explained away, or simply not perceived. The belief becomes self-confirming. You are not perceiving reality. You are perceiving your beliefs about reality. And your beliefs were written before you could evaluate them. So now let's go over some core beliefs and the behavioral output. Okay. Number one, I'm not enough. Now, here's the thing. We all, every single person that's living right now, that's ever lived, at some level, we have, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not valuable. I'm not loved. I'm not lovable. I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy of money. We all have that at some degree. The key is to realize at what level you have it, how strong is that belief system running your life, where did you learn that, where was it installed, what did you see growing up, and then reinstall a new one. That's not mine anymore. Release it and then work on developing the opposite. So I'm not enough. Chronic overachievement or chronic avoidance, never satisfied. I need to earn love. People pleasing, sacrificing the self to maintain approval. The world is dangerous. Hypervigilance, risk avoidance, conflict avoidance. I am not worthy of success. Self-sabotage, getting close, then pulling back. Money is hard or money is wrong. Income ceiling, financial self-punishment, guilt about wanting more. I must be in control. Perfectionism, inability to delegate, exhaustion. I must be in control. Also, it stems. It also is expressed in no one can do it as good as me. I can't trust anybody to do it. So on and so forth. Okay, I am fundamentally alone. Transactional relationships, fear of true intimacy, Vulnerability means weakness, isolation, disconnection, inability to ask for what is needed. I must not take up space. Silence when speaking would change things. Oh, silence when speaking would change things. So, when you have deep inside, you should speak up, but you don't. You don't want to take up space. You don't want to be a burden. You don't want to, go against the status quo, so on and so forth. Success will cost me something. Holding back at the threshold, unconscious retreat from the goal. I am not like other people. So, isolation as identity, disconnection disguised as uniqueness. Things never work out for me. Confirmation bias toward failure. Evidence gathering for the belief. See, this always happens for me. Things never work out for me. Relationships never work out for me. I always meet the same guy or the same girl. These things never work out for me. How value or how beliefs relate to values. Values and beliefs are not separate systems, they form together. A man who primarily values safety will develop beliefs that justify and reinforce that value. The world is dangerous. Risk leads to loss. How do you know? How is that certain? Every time risk leads to loss, stability is what matters most. The beliefs then make the behavior feel rational, even when it contradicts what the man consciously wants. This is the circular architecture of limitation. The value generates the belief. The belief justifies the value. The behavior expresses both. And the man looking at his own life from the outside wonders why. Despite knowing what to do, he keeps not doing it. Part 4, the value conflict. Why you keep stopping at the threshold. The most common reason men fail to act on what they consciously want is not weakness, laziness, or lack of information. It is an unidentified conflict between competing values. Like I said, you want money, but you believe the root of all money is evil, or you believe that only scammers make money, or money equals pain at some level. So right here, you value safety. Stay in the safe job. Don't risk the money. What if it doesn't work out? Keep the predictable routine. What if I lose? What will other people say about me? What about value of growth? Launch the business, make the bold move. This is your moment. You know you're ready. Result paralysis. The higher value wins. What you value more strongly. If you value safety more than you value growth, you will not act. Rather than if you value growth more than safety, you will act. You will take risk. The mechanics of internal conflict. When safety sits above growth in your value hierarchy, and you are presented with an opportunity that requires risk, the nervous system does not process this as an opportunity. It processes it as a threat. The anxiety, hesitation, and overthinking that follow are not signs that you are not ready. They are signs that your current value hierarchy is treating the growth as dangerous. The behavior that results, the delay, the research loop, the one more thing you need to do before you start, is rational from the perspective of the safety value. It is only irrational from the outside, from the perspective of the growth value that is losing the opportunity to grow. Because no matter what, I either win or I lose. Or, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I either win or I learn. No matter what, I always win. Because even if I don't get the result that I wanted on the first try, I won because I learned something. I had an experience where then I can take it back to the drawing board and say, okay, what happened? Why didn't I get the result that I wanted? What can I do next time to get the result that I want? Why motivation doesn't fix it. Motivation operates at the conscious layer. In fact, I would say motivation is at the very top of the conscious layer. The value conflict operates at the subconscious layer. You can generate enthusiasm, inspiration, and commitment at the conscious level. And the subconscious value hierarchy will still win the moment genuine uncertainty arrives. Not because you are weak, because the wrong value is at the top of the hierarchy. You don't need more motivation. You need to identify which value is winning the conflict you didn't know you were having. Again, most people value safety and security above everything. So when uncertainty, when risk show up, they cower away, they retreat, fight or flight. How to identify your dominant value in any area. Look at your repeated behavioral patterns. Not what you intend to do, not what you want to do, not what you wish or hope to do, but what you consistently do when faced with a choice between safety and risk. Look at where you consistently stop. Look at what you consistently protect. What you protect tells you what you value most, not in theory, in practice. What scares you tells you what you value. If you're afraid to quit your safe and secure job, you value safety and security over freedom, over growth, over real safety and security. Because real safety and security come from a high level of self-confidence, self-worth, self-love that no matter what happens, I can take care of anything that comes up in my life. Now, part 5, the reprogramming sequence. How the subconscious identity reprogramming technology replaces the root architecture. I created the subconscious identity reprogramming technology as the most powerful and effective way to reprogram your subconscious mind. 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes before bed, and extra credit is go for a 30-minute walk and listen to these audio recordings. Your whole life will change. Understanding your values and beliefs is not the destination. It is the map. The destination is replacing the values and beliefs that are keeping you from operating from the identity you have chosen or that you desire. There is an identity, like I said in the very beginning of this video. You want this ideal life. Let's say you want to be a millionaire, you want to have a beautiful home, beautiful cars, beautiful wife, beautiful family, beautiful body. You want the dream life. That dream life is the reflection of an identity. You have to be that identity first. You can't be a little bitch and expect for a woman, a top tier, beautiful, confident, loving, nurturing, powerful woman that's going to feed your soul. She's never going to be attracted to a little bitch. Period. So guess what? If you're a little bitch that values safety and security, comfort, jerking off, watching porn, playing video games, you're never going to attract that reality. So what will happen is, yes, you want that. You want the dream life. Every man does. Yours may look different than mine, but you still want your dream life, your definition of your dream life. You have to become the man the identity, meaning values and beliefs that are in harmony with that dream life. And that's the hard part. Okay, so reprogramming sequence. Number one, identity. Name the belief precisely. Not I have confidence issues. I believe I must earn love or it will be taken away. Again, look at your childhood, your beliefs, your values. You learned them, you adopted them, you agreed with them as a child. Surface the source. Ask, what events made me believe this? Find 3 to 10 memories that installed it. Get yourself a notebook and start writing. Start going, asking yourself questions. Where did I learn my values? What did I learn growing up? Did I come from a single family? Did my mom raise me? Did my dad raise me? What was my dad like? What is my dad like? What is my mom like? What did I learn from them? How am I like them? How am I repeating the same shit that they got? And conversely, how am I not? How have I learned? How have I grown? How have I overcome? How have I reprogrammed what I learned growing up? Okay, number 3, collapse. Drain the emotional charge. Okay, this is in my recordings. You shrink the image, distance it, recolor it, lower the volume, make it fuzzy, reclassify it. That was data, not definition. The only reason why it's defining your life is because you're still holding on to it. You're still identifying with it. Install a new program in the theta every morning. You listen to the program. You're going through a visualization practice. You're seeing yourself as a new person. You're spending time in the past, bringing up that shit. What are the memories that you're identifying with that you haven't thought about in many moons? And then you let them go, reprocess them, reframe them, let them go. Then you live your day. You will have moments in your life where you will be presented an opportunity to act as the new character, meaning acting courageous, confident, certain, abundant, powerful, sexy, whatever it is. And you either pass the test or you fail. You either act courageous and confident in the moment or you don't. You either reinforce the past old identity or you add evidence and you start rebuilding the new one. And then the condition, daily proof method, immediate reinforcement, 30 days minimum. The new belief becomes gravity. Step 1, identify with precision. Name the belief or value exactly, not I have a confidence issues, I'm not confident. It's very vague. That is a symptom. The belief is I believe I must earn love or it will be withdrawn. I must, here's my value here's my belief around money. I have to work hard, really hard to make money. Money doesn't come easily. Okay, not I struggle with money. The belief is money requires suffering, and people who have it easily are taking something from others. The more precise the identification, the more targeted the replacement can be. The more specific you can, because what you're doing again is you are defining what you learned, what you saw as a child that was installed into the subconscious. Okay, step 2, surface the source memories. Ask yourself questions. Start asking. My man Tony Robbins right there. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask yourself. Start asking yourself better questions. Period. Where did I learn these things? Start asking your subconscious mind and it will start bringing up. Start writing. Usually 3 to 10 memories will appear. These are the ones you're ready to process. These are the installation events. the moments when the interpretation entered the subconscious with enough emotional charge to become permanent. You do not need to relive them. You just need to identify them. I shared this on last week's video. One of my memories, one of my 3 to 5 is fighting around money. Money equals pain. Because I witnessed a lot of fighting, a lot of argument, a lot of negative emotion, a lot of anger, a lot of resentment around money. Okay, step 3, collapse the charge. Drain the emotional charge from the source memories using the collapse protocol. The collapse protocol is in the recording. If you want access to the recording, check the links in the description. Shrink the mental image, move it further away, drain it of color if it's color, make it black and white. If it's black and white, make it fuzzy, lower the intensity until the memory loses its grip. Then reclassify, redefine it. That was data. That was their experience, not mine. I'm a child of God. I'm valuable. I'm worthy. I'm a good person. I have nothing to do with their experience. So I release all of that and I choose to create a new future. Period. That event shaped my interpretation. It did not prove a fact about me. Step 4, install in theta. The new value and the new belief must enter the subconscious mind through the same channel they were originally installed, the theta state. The subconscious identity, reprogramming technology, morning activation, and nightly integration tracks are specifically designed to hold the theta state open and introduce the new identity architecture, the new value hierarchy, the new belief, the new operating instruction, while the subconscious is receptive and unguarded. Again, you must get radically transparent about who you are right now. What are your values? It's okay. They're not yours. Remember, they're learned. If you value security and safety, number one, and again, you're a little bitch, you're too afraid to take action, you're too afraid to talk back, you're too afraid to voice your opinion, you're too afraid to go talk to the girl, you're too afraid to do these things, okay? You need to first, you've got to acknowledge it. This is who I am. This is what I value. This is what I believe. It's not mine. Minimize it, put it off to the distance, and you've got to create an image of the ideal man. See him that's dressed differently than you currently are. Maybe you're wearing an AP, you got a bunch of gold jewelry on. Who knows how you're dressed, so on and so forth. You got to see him in your mind's eye. See him. I do this. Man, even right now, I'm going to fire it off. Boom, boom, baby, boom. Right there. I'm doing the work because I'm conscious. I'm 100% conscious with you right now. That when I just close my eyes, I'm seeing my ideal self. Because there's no such thing as perfection. It's always progression. It's always growth. How can I get better? How can I do better? How can I be better? Same as you. I'm playing the game too, and I'm using everything I'm teaching you, firing off these anchors. I'm reinforcing the anchors. That's why I love making these videos, because I get to get in such a high state of certainty, courage, confidence, abundance. And then I just get to reinforce my shit every week, week after week. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, anyways. Step 5, condition through daily proof. That's what I just did right there. Daily proof. I'm adding evidence. I'm creating a new identity that's changing my personality. And like Joe Dispenza would say, then I'm changing my reality by changing my personality. Anyways, step 5, condition through daily proof. The new architecture requires evidence density, meaning quantity. You have to act like the new character, the new identity. Courageous, confident, certain, charismatic, funny, loving, strong, bold, passionate. To become the default. This is the behavioral conditioning work. Daily actions that are consistent with the new values, reinforced immediately and accumulated over 30 days minimum. You do it forever. You need to do it for at least 30 minutes so that you get momentum. So then you start doing it forever. Evidence density is what converts a new installation from fragile to durable, from intention to identity. The value was installed in theta. It can only be permanently replaced in theta. That is the mechanism. That is why the subconscious identity reprogramming technology protocol is built around the 2 natural theta windows every day. You only get those 2 windows. Or if you go take a nap or you go meditate, you can get into theta. But again, it's conscious, intentional relaxation, relaxing the mind, or then you just go into beta. Right now, we're in beta and alpha. The brain wave state is different than when you go and relax, or you're in super relaxation right before you go unconscious and you go to sleep. Okay, part 6, the values and beliefs audit. This is not optional. The audit is the beginning of the work, not a supplement to it. The men who transform fastest are the ones who can name precisely what is running them. Vague understanding produces vague change. You will get out of this what you put into this. Period. Full stop. Just watching a video is not going to change your life. Just going to a seminar is not going to change your life. It is the work that you do. You learn strategies, you learn tools, you learn tactics, you get new ideas. You must implement them forever, ultimately, to get the result you want. Okay, so the worksheet, map your current architecture. We've covered a lot of this. So section A, your current values hierarchy without overthinking. You want to just boom, boom, boom. Rank these values 1 through 10 based on how your behavior actually reflects them, not how you wish you did. Don't lie to yourself. This is true. Safety and security, belonging and connection, worth and validation, freedom, happiness and pleasure, certainty and control, love and deep bond, purpose and meaning, growth and mastery, hope and optimism. Rate these 1 to 10. What one is number 1? What do you value the most? Not do you wish, but do you currently? What do your actions show? Period. My number 1 value is blank, based on behavior, not intention. Again, it's not whether or not you do this is not going to change my life. I could care less. I'm doing this for myself. I'm already